Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Rest Indica IS Academy, Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we will be talking about some of the very important schemes related to the food processing industry. From time to time the government is coming out with some of the very important schemes related to the food processing. So today we will be talking about some of the very most important schemes which are being part of the food processing and how they are trying to transform the whole food processing sector in our country. Okay, especially in this scenario we'll be talking about three very important schemes. That is all that you have to read about that, because these are the three which is encompassing each and every part of the food processing industry. So with that we will be starting with our lecture on food processing and related industries in India, the schemes part. Okay, so this is what whenever you go and see the website of the food processing industries, you will be finding this part over here. You can see a whole lot of things that government is doing. So there are like about of schemes, then World Food India 2024, then there are a lot of tenders that are being also released. Then here we have a Nifty Kundli, then we have a Nifty 10 Tanjavur PM Kisan Sampada portal, then formalization of micro enterprises, then PLSI FSI portal is there. Okay, so for these are the three main important schemes. So let's see, this is the three main schemes. So the first part is, that is production link incentive. This is production link incentive, a scheme for food processing industry. Okay, production link incentive scheme for food processing industry. Then this is Prime Minister Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, Prime Minister Kisan Sampada Yojana. Under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, we have a concept. Under that, we have around mega food parks, cold chains, F&P preservation capacity, then backward and forward linkages, HRN institution, agro processing clusters, food safety, quality assurance, and operation greens. Then we have a Prime Minister formalization of micro food industries. Okay, micro food processing enterprises. Okay, Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Under that we have a ODOP, one district one product, upgradation of individual micro food enterprises. Then support for food processing operation. Then self-help groups and producers cooperatives are there. Then seed capital to self-help groups are there. Common infrastructure is there. Then branding and marketing support is there, and capacity building trainings are there. So these all things are being part of the food processing. So we will be discussing all these three things over here. So first part we will be discussing this, after that we will be discussing this, and after that we will be discussing these three. Okay, so let's start with our session. First is the production link incentive scheme for the food processing industry. Okay, so the cabinet has released the scheme as a central sector scheme where 100% funding will be provided by the central government, especially focusing on global food manufacturing champions. That we want our country to become a global food manufacturing champions, because we know that India has been endowed with a lot of natural resources. India are having their own international brand in various food products, and then Indian products are also being part of various international markets. So this scheme has been launched with an outlay of 10,900 crores. So this is one thing that you have to remember in this whole part. Okay, so under this production link incentive schemes, we know that the food processing industries, like it's like a manufacturing enterprise, right? So there are a lot of micro enterprises are there, medium and large scale industries are there. So India is having a very competitive advantages. Like India is having resources also, India is having large domestic market also, and even India has a capacity for value added products. Okay, so we have a resource endowment, we have a large domestic market, we have a we can have a value added added products are also being added. So this is what the competitive advantages that India is having. Okay, so in order to achieve the full potential of the sector, we would require Indian companies that first of all, Indian companies should increase their competitive strength, like their global, by comparing with their global counterparts, they have to increase their own competitive strength, like they have to increase their scale of output, they have to increase their own productivity, then most very importantly, a value addition, and their linkages forward and backward linkages are also being properly has to be intact, and they have to integrate with the global chain in order to realize the betterment. Okay, so that is why this production link incentive scheme for food processing industries has been formulated. This is a scheme of Niti Aayog under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, just make to sure that to increase Indian manufacturing capabilities and also to enhance the export capabilities of India. Okay, so there are certain, whenever we try to make certain schemes, so there are a lot of certain objectives are there. So the first objective is that at least we should have a minimum sales, and we are willing to make minimum stipulated investment for expansion and processing, that what is required. Okay, so that proper branding abroad can be done and we can incentivize our strong Indian brand. That is what exactly minimum sales we have to do, and minimum investment which is required in order to be set up at the international stage. All right, and then after that we can support creation of the global food manufacturing champions. Then we have to select our Indian brands food products which have a very wider global visibility. Okay, at the international market. See, in the domestic market we are already having our global visibility, but we have to make sure that this is a place from where we are getting all the natural products, so we should have a global visibility of the things. And at the last, obviously, whenever we are trying to improve any sector, we are focusing on employment generation, employment opportunities. Okay, like these are off the farm sector, because we are utilizing the primary products and we are putting that into a secondary product and we are making them a manufactured product. Okay, and also we are also planning to have a remunerative prices of the farm products which the farmer get, like if they are selling mangoes, if they are selling lychees or whatever it is, so they should get remunerative price and higher income to the farmer. This is what the objective of the schemes that we are focusing on under this PLI SFPI scheme. Right now, what is the salient features that are intact with this scheme? First of all, in the starting, that we have already seen that this scheme is having an outlay of 10,900 crore that we have seen. Okay, so there are two important components are there. So the first component of this scheme is, first of all, to incentivize manufacturing of four major food product segment. There are four major food product segment. Okay, first is ready to cook. Then we have a ready to eat, including millet based product, then processed foods and vegetables and marine product, and mozzarella cheese. Okay, so this is what are the four products, like millet based products, processed food and vegetables, then marine products, and then mozzarella cheese. That is the fourth product. Special focus has been given to these. Okay, then after that we are moving towards the innovative and organic product, okay, of the small and medium enterprises, like free range egg is there, poultry meats is there, egg products are there. These are also covered under the above components. Okay, if we are trying to put it, so the obviously whenever we are saying ready to eat, ready to cook meats are there, so these are being also part of that. Okay, so whosoever is providing application, so selected applicants will be required. That means whosoever wanted to invest in this area, so they have to be selected, or they have to require to take certain undertake investment as quoted in their application regarding like minimum plant and machinery for the first 2 years. Okay, so whatever the investment they have made in 2021 will be also counted for meeting the mandated investment. Okay, so minimum sales and mandated investment will not be applicable for entities selected for making innovative or organic products. So there was a condition like you have to do certain minimum sales and you have to do certain minimum like minimum sales and mandated investment. So this is not applicable for any industry which is focusing on innovation and organic product. Okay, now we are focusing on the second component is related to the support for branding and marketing. Okay, so here we are supporting abroad to incentivize emergence of the strong Indian brand, like how we can make our Indian brands more and more attractive and more promotional we have to do of the Indian brand. Okay, so for that special applications are there. So this is scheme of production link incentive schemes for food processing industry, that is called SPLI SFPI, will be implemented for over 6 years starting from 21-22 during the COVID time till 26-27. Okay, now what is the implementation strategies and the target that has to be achieved under that? So under the implementation strategy, so first of all, this scheme will be rolled out in all India basis. Okay, so along with there is a project management agency that will be there, who will be responsible for appraisal of the application, and they will be formulating, they will be checking the proposal, they will be verifying the proposal, they will be checking the eligibility of the proposal, they will scrutinize, they will also see the claims whether somebody is eligible or not. Okay, so this is all being given to the project management committee. Okay, so under that incentives will be given for a period of 6 years for ending 26-27, that we have already seen that this scheme will be running for 6 years, and the scheme is fund limited. Okay, the scheme is fund limited, that is the cost shall be restricted to the approved amount. There will be no extra cost that will be provided. So whatever the project cost, whatever the project part will be coming, only that much will be provided under that. Okay, so the maximum incentive payable to each beneficiary will be fixed in advance beforehand only. That means if somebody has fixed that the government will be providing 1 crore rupees, so this is got fixed. Now nothing else extra the government will provide, and this is fund limited. Next, rest nothing will be provided by the government, okay, to the beneficiary. Okay, so regardless of the achievement performance, this maximum shall not be exceed. Okay, so this is only fund limited scheme. Okay, now what is the administrative and implementation mechanism? So this whole scheme will be monitored by the central empowered group of secretaries. Okay, and this will be chaired by our head, that is cabinet secretary. Okay, so there will be interministerially approval committees that will be there, IMAC, those who will be approving, and those will be approving selection of the applicants, okay, for coverage under the scheme and release of the funds and everything. Okay, so the ministry will be preparing all the annual action plan, and from the outside there will be a third party evaluation that will be done. Okay, so that will be monitored from the center, okay, under the head of the cabinet secretary, and there will be an approval committee which will be approving the projects, and there will be ministry which is also preparing annual action plan, what we have to do under that, what all project that we have to approve, and based on that this will be whole monitored by the central group, and from the outside there will be a third party who will be evaluating the whole process, right? So what exactly is the major impact that we are expecting from this whole scheme? Okay, so if this scheme is working properly, then it is expected that this is going to generate and process food output of around 33,494 crore. Okay, that is close to 33,500 crore rupees of the processed food will be generated, and this scheme will be creating around 2.5 lakh person employment by the year 26-27. So this is going to generate this much of employment. Okay, so this is what is the output that we are expecting from this whole scheme. Okay, now what is the benefit that we are going to expect from this whole scheme? So some of the very important benefits of production link incentive scheme for food processing industries are, First of all, the government will be providing financial incentives, okay, for any of the food processing companies based on their incremental sale, like production link incentive. Based on the production, there is a linked incentives that you are going to get. The more production you will be doing, the more and more incentives you will be going. So this will help in encouraging the company to increase their production capacity and also to improve the efficiencies, okay. Then it will also help in boosting the domestic production. So if we are incentivizing the higher production, so this scheme will be also reducing dependency on the imports, since we will be producing our own products, okay, and because of that it will also enhance the competitiveness and everything, right? Then it will also encourage the innovation, as more and more support and government will be providing with the help of a financial funding and everything. So there will be more and more innovative activities in the, and also they will help in producing new type of products, innovative products and technologies will be also utilized. Obviously this is the very important thing regarding the employment generation. So whenever we have an increased production capacity, obviously new investment will come, so there will be requiring new labor force, especially for this whole sector, okay. So this will obviously create a significant employment. Then it will also help in promotion of export. The more and more quality products, the more and more innovative products that we are going to bring, the more and more qualitative, more and more quantitative products, so obviously automatically the export potential will also increase of the food processing industry. And obviously, since government is focusing on MSME industries in the food processing sector, so they are providing with all the necessary support to scaling up their operations. Now, some of the examples related to food processing industries. So first is regarding the dairy product. We have a best example is of Amul Anand Milk Union Limited. It is the largest dairy cooperative. Okay, this will be getting benefit of this PLI FSP exempt, because they will be able to expand, and they are also going to expand in the range of products. If you go and if you might be seeing the ads right now, if you might be seeing of the ad of dairy of the Amul, you will be finding that they are coming with various new innovative products, okay. Because if we go by the data regarding the dairy industry, so there is a huge significant potential, like the export value of the dairy product is going to be around $500 million. Then we have a ready to eat food companies are there, company like ITC, Nestle are there. They can also help in taking the advantages of the scheme of production link incentives regarding the ready to eat meals, snacks, catering of both international and domestic market, okay. So RTE food, ready to eat food segment, has a cumulative aggregated growth rate of 16 to 18%, which will get a boost from the domestic and the export potential. Then regarding the fruits and vegetable processing, so there is example of like Mother Dairy is there, Haldirams is there. They have a huge incentives to the process. They export more and more fruits and vegetable. Like we have a Indian fruit and vegetable market, which is expected to grow from $10 billion to $20 billion by 2025. Now we have a marine products are there, like we have a Avanti feeds are there, then Apex frozen foods are there. They are also getting the more and more support from the government, especially in this area, and we are expecting that they will be getting $5.96 billion. That is the main data that we are having, and they will be growing further by that rate. Then regarding the organic product, we have a companies like Organic India, Srithal Natural Bio products are there, which are also increasing their products in that same line area, export of organic foods, okay. And they are growing, it is expected and it is projected that they will be growing by a rate of 20% during the 21-26 year form. So what is the projected? So we have already seen that the investment attraction is around 10,900 crore, which is called as around $1.5 billion, and direct and indirect employment will be generated around 2.5 lakh people by 26-27, which we have already discussed. Okay, I keep on saying this every time because so that this data gets inside your mind properly. Okay, because this is what exactly sometimes they ask, like what is the target, what we are going to achieve, what exactly is the objective of achieving it, and then what is the incremental sale that we are focusing on is that regarding for the food products, due to the scheme, it is estimated that that incremental sale will be we will be expecting around 1 lakh crore rupees, which is close to $13.5 over the 6-year period, that is 26 27, we are expecting that the sale will be around 1 lakh crore rupees, especially for under this scheme. Okay, so this is what is the infographic regarding that. So under this segment, we have ready to eat, ready to cook, marine, mozzarella cheeses. There total 55 production units are there. Then under the branding and marketing, 76 projects are going on. Under the segment of innovation and organic, 16 products, and again the large entities and MSME, we have a 30 products are going on. Okay, so this is like a infographic that I wanted to show you, each and every one of you. Okay, now production link incentive, we have a incubation center, 76 proposed incubation sectors are there with an outlay of rupees 205.95 crores are there. Okay, under that we will be also providing funding to the State Agriculture University, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and Krishi Vikas Kendra are there. Okay, then under credit link subsidies are also being part of that. So around various application are there. So 1305 crore rupees banks have given the credit link subsidy, and 129.76 crore central state credit link subsidies are also being provided under that. Okay, then state level upgradation, we have 35 states are there which have appointed agencies for state level upgradation plan, and we have a joint standard operation procedure has been provided regarding agriculture infrastructure and schemes. Okay, so this is this is for especially for Prime Minister formalization of micro enterprises. Okay, now we are moving towards the next thing, that is called PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. So PM Kisan Sampada Yojana is a central sector scheme. So Sampada means scheme for agro marine processing and development of agro processing cluster. Okay, so this is scheme. Sometimes you just remember this full form of the scheme also. This is very necessary, especially because until and unless you remember the full form, you will not able to exactly find out the whole concept regarding this meaning. Okay, so this scheme was approved in May 2017 and for a period of 2016 and 20, that is 4 years within the cycle of the 14th Finance Commission. Okay, so this scheme has been renamed as PM Kisan Sampada Yojana because it is an umbrella scheme. Umbrella means there are a lot of schemes are going on which have been clubbed together under a single scheme, that is called PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, so we have a mega food parks, then integrated cold chain, then food safety quality assurance. These are all some of the schemes are there which are all being clubbed under a single scheme, that is called PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. And the main focus, the main objective of the scheme under PM Kisan Sampada Yojana is to supplement the agriculture, modernize the processing, and decrease the agriculture waste. Okay, so these are the following schemes are there which are being clubbed under the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. So under the following PM Kisan Sampada Yojana, we have the scheme of mega food parks, we have a integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure, we have a creation expansion of food processing and preservation capacities, then we have infrastructure for agro processing clusters, then we have a creation of backward and forward linkages, then we have a food safety and quality assurance infrastructure, then we have a human resources and institution and operation green. So we will be doing one by one each and every sub schemes under PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, so here you can see these are around like a project completed under the components of PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. So around they have resulted in the creation of around 194 lakh metric ton of preservation and processing capacity by February 2023. Okay, so around 41 mega food park has been approved, 376 cold chains, 52 operation green programs, 61 forward and backward linkages, 79 agro processing cluster, 99 human resource and institutions, then 183 food testing laboratories, and then 489 creation expansion of food processing and preservation capacity things. Okay, so this is what all is the data point especially regarding the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, so a total of 190 food processing project were sanctioned. Agro processing 23 cluster, cold chain 33 units, then food testing 12, mega food park 2, then provision also there is a project for onion and potato under the operation key. So we will be discussing each and every part of it. Okay, so let's see the first part, that is called mega food park. Okay, so the main purpose of this mega food park is like linking agriculture production to market by bringing together farmers, processors, retailers, so that all the people should work in integrated way. Okay, all should work in a integrated way in order to maximize the value addition that can be done, in order to minimize the wastage that can be reduced, and increasing the farmer income and also employment opportunity. So this whole mega food park scheme is based on a cluster means we will be having a farmer will be coming at single place. At that place only processor will be there. At the same place we have you will be connected with a retailer. So here this is like a cluster we will be following. At a single place we will be having all these things. Okay, like that. Okay, so the mega food park is like a cluster base which like they will be creating state of the art support infrastructure, well defined agri and horticulture zone for setting up the modern food processing unit, plots and everything. Okay, so under the mega food park scheme, normally we will be having supply chain infrastructure, like we will be having collection centers, PPC primary processing centers, then CPC central processing centers, then we have a cold chains around 25 to 30 fully developed plots for especially for entrepreneurs and processing unit. Okay, so this mega food park scheme will be developed based on a special purpose vehicle. Okay, so this special purpose vehicle will be like a company. Okay, this was like a company under the Companies Act. So here we will be having government, state, central government, state government and cooperative. They will be required to form separate SPV for management of the mega food park scheme. Okay, so separate special purpose vehicle will be made for mega food park. Okay, so they have to follow certain guidelines and various other things, and the funds will be released based on that. Okay, so here if you can see, so far till now 24 mega food park are operational. Okay, like we have a Shreni mega food park, Godavari mega aquaculture, then we have a Northeast mega, Indus Best mega, Gujarat agro, then ceramics mega, then we have integrated mega, Kerala Industries Infrastructure Corporation, then Indus Mega Food Park in Khargone, Madhya Pradesh, then Avanti Mega Food Park in Devas, then Python Mega Food Park in Aurangabad, then Satara Mega Food Park in Satara, then Zoram Mega Food Park in Mizoram, then Metsy Mega Food Park in Rai, then Odisha, International Mega Food Park Fazilka in Punjab, then Sukhjit Mega Food Park in Kapurthala in Punjab, then Green Tech Mega Food Park in Ajmer, Rajasthan, then Smart Agro Mega Food Park in Nizamabad in Telangana, then Tripura Mega, then here in Tripura, then Patanjali Food Park and Herbal in Uttarakhand, that everybody's know, then Himalayan Mega Food Park in Udham Nagar, Srinagar in Uttarakhand, Udham Nagar, Singh Nagar, then Jahangirpur Bengal Mega Food Park, then Haryana State Industrial Infrastructure, then Kerala State Industrial Infrastructure. So you can see this mega food park scheme is spread throughout and each and every part of the country, right? So you can see how because at every places we have a different type of collection centers. Every places have a different type of cropping food, vegetables and various other things. So at every places so that in order to properly make the reach of the people over there, so these are being created at each and every places. Okay, so mega food park scheme was launched in 2008. Focus is only to enhance the food processing infrastructure. Government will be providing financial assistance up to 50 crore to establish modern facilities, which is called mega food park. Main focus is to develop modern infrastructure facility along with food processing value chain, farm to market, cluster based approach and hub and spoke model. Okay, so there are certain components are there. Okay, so like first of all, in the mega food park we have a central processing center that we call it as CPC is there. Okay, so this is a central hub. Okay, around 80 to 100 acres area it is going to be spread, and this is like a primary processing facility. Okay, so here the value added products will be processed, and here from here it will be distributed through both domestic and for export. Then after that we have a primary processing center. So surrounding the CPC we have a primary processing center that will be handling like sorting, grading, pre-cooling, packaging of the food product. Then the collection centers are there, like this is encircling the primary processing center. This will be acting like a aggregation of storage center, collection producer from the farmer middleman. Okay, so it is going like this. Okay, the product will be coming to the collection center, then product will be going to the primary processing center, then it is going to the central processing center, and from there it will be distributed outside domestic market, international market, whatever it is. Okay, so this is all being done with the help of special purpose vehicle, okay, registered body. And right now the project progress as of October 29 2020, the government has sanctioned around 37 food park under the mega food park scheme. Out of the 20 are operational, while 17 are in various stages of implementation. So this is what the system is. Okay, so we have a farmer groups are there, we have self-help groups are there, we have individual farmers are there. So from there they will be there will be a collection centers from where their produce will be collected in the collection center. After their collection center, they will be going to the primary processing center. Primary processing center where grading, sorting and everything will be done. From primary processing center, they will be going to the mega food park, that is central processing sector. Okay, and from central processing center there will be value addition product will be done, then importer, exporter, domestic sale, then fresh products will be sent to the domestic retail sale and everything. Okay, so primary processing center, so first of all central field collection centers are these are there. After that, primary processing center means these one, they will be doing pre-cooling, grading, pulping, sorting, waxing and temporary storage. After that we will be having central processing center like pulping, aseptic packing, then CA chambers, cold storage, QA, lab testing, logistic services and everything will be done over here, and then it will be sent for various type of part to the consumers and everything. Okay, right. Now we are moving towards the next part, that is called integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure scheme. So under the integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure, the focus is on strengthening the cold chain infrastructure and value addition infrastructure, because cold chain is very very important if we are talking about any of the food processing industries. And along with that, if we are focusing on value addition, like if we are making like from mango, if we are making a mango juice. Okay, so this is called as a food processing and value addition we are doing as in the form of a juice. Okay, main is to provide integrated cold chain infrastructure, okay, so that we will be having proper preservation and without any breaks in this whole process, okay, from farm gate to the consumer. So we wanted to reduce the post-harvest losses of any of the non-horticulture product like dairy, meat, poultry, meat, marine fishery, except shrimps. Okay, they have certain exceptions is also being there. Okay, so this scheme is demand driven. Okay, so any eligible entity who wanted to work who wanted to get some government support in the form of a cold chain and everything, they have to apply for the benefit under the scheme, including individuals as well as entity organizations like farmer producer organization, farmer producer companies, NGOs, public sector undertaking, farm companies and everything. Okay, so under the component of the scheme there is a creation of farm level infrastructure. They can create a processing center, they can create a distribution hub, refrigerated vans, refrigerated trucks, insulated vans, mobile insulated tankers and everything. Okay, so this scheme will also support creation of irrigation facility components and everything. So if you wanted any kind of support under this scheme, so grant in aid at 35% of the eligible project cost. for all the projects in general area. General area means which is normal area where all the connectivities and everything are being proper. Okay, and at 50% of the project eligible project cost in difficult area like northeast area, difficult terrains, hilly areas or anything. Okay, as well as for the project for SC, ST, FPO, self-help group subject to the maximum of rupees 10 crore rupees per project. Okay, so till now 372 projects has been for creation of around 38.82 lakh metric ton preservation capacity and 148.07 lakh metric ton processing capacity per annum has been specially being sanctioned for these projects. Okay, now the next one is creation expansion of food processing preservation capacity. So the main objective of this scheme is like first of all creation of processing and preservation capacity. Focus is like value addition leading to the reduction of the wastages. Okay, like the processing activities will be undertaking the individual units covering a wide range of post-harvest process. Like during the post-harvest only a lot of wastage and things happen. Okay, so post-harvest processes in order to have a proper value addition, how we can increase their shelf life and everything. Okay, so they wanted to increase the processing capacities and they also wanted to increase the processing and reducing the wastage with the help of new modern technologies like better refrigeration capacity, better modern tools can be utilized, how we can make more and more process more and more efficient, and how we can improve the quality of their product with the help of more modernized tools. Okay, so this scheme will be implemented through various organizations like central, state, joint ventures, farmer produce organization, non-governmental organizations, self-help groups, limited company, private company, individual proprietorship, upgradation and modernization of food processing industries. Okay, then there is a project component. What is the meaning of project? Like what is going to be provided? So any eligible project who is focusing on creation expansion of food processing and preservation capacity, they will have for a grant includes cost of plant and machinery and technical civil work. Okay, like cost of utilities are there like water pipelines, DG set, boiler, solid waste treatment plant, ETP plants and everything are eligible under this project cost to restriction of the above cost maximum of 25 of the total project cost. Like mean if you have a 1 crore project sanction, okay, so government will be providing 25 lakhs, that is 25% if for various type of plant machinery, technical civil work, cost of utilities, creation of water pipelines and everything. Okay, so under the pattern of assistance similar to the previous one, grant and aid at 35% of the eligible project cost in general area and then 50% of the eligible cost in the northeastern including Sikkim difficult areas, namely Himachal and Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Uttarakhand, and notified areas and Iceland subject to a maximum of rupees 5 crore per project. Okay, so the release of grant will be happening like there will be two installment. In the first installment 50%, the next installment 50%. Okay, the first installment grant will be released after the firm has utilized 50% of the term loan as well as 50% of the promoter contribution on the project. It means if I am a promoter, if I have taken the loan, first 50% have to be invested by me and 50% I will be getting as a term loan, and after the fulfilling of the first installment only the second installment will be released after submission of the document that they have utilized the first installment of the grant, and then 100% term loan as well as 100% promoter contribution has to be done into the second part. Okay, so this is like that to make sure that the work is going on. It is not like that you are not doing and you are just taking the benefit of the scheme. Okay, then we have a agro processing clusters are there. Now under the agro processing cluster, so the focus is on development of the modern infrastructure with common facility. That means there are various type of companies, various type of companies and industries are there which requiring some kind of common facility. Okay, so here if there are group of entrepreneurs are there who wanted certain kind of common company, like common supply of cold storage and things are there. So it is like a cluster base where they will be linking the group of producer, processor, supply chain, modern infrastructure. Okay, so each agro processing cluster in that scheme have a two basic component. So we have a basic enabling component like road, water supply, power, drainage and ETP. Then we have a core infrastructure like warehouse, cold storage, IQ, have tetra packing, sorting, grading, and at least 5 processing unit will have a minimum investment of 25 crores. So this is what is the agro processing cluster, which is like a common facility that every industry need in the food processing center. So this is focusing on creation of a agro processing cluster where all the industries can be getting a cluster approach and they will be getting the use to of this whole product. Okay, so the unit are set up simultaneously along with creation of the common infrastructure. So around 10 acre of the land is required to be arranged either to be purchased or leased for at least 50 years for setting up of agro processing cluster. Okay, so agro processing cluster can be set up by the project execution agency, government, PSUs, joint ventures, NGO, cooperative, self-help group, FPO, private sector, individual, or anything. Anybody can be opening up. Now, under the agro processing zone, there will be a project execution agency which will be responsible for overall implementation of the project. Okay, so as you all know that there are various part and sub schemes related to the agro processing cluster. So there has to be some agency which is responsible for various implementation. So there will be a project execution agency which will be responsible for overall implementation of the projects, and this will be doing all the activities and formulation of the detailed project report like procurement, purchase of land, arranging finance, creating infrastructure, ensuring external infrastructure linkages and everything. Okay, so this project execution agency can also sell or lease the plot in agro processing cluster to other food processing unit, but the common facility in the cluster cannot be sold or leased. That means if there is any kind of common facility, like here you can see that here we are creating a common cluster, right? Here we are taking some kind of common facilities. Okay, like roadways are there, water supply is there, power supply is there. So these common facility you cannot sold or lease out. Only certain which is having your personal setup over there, you can still close out. Okay, so under the project component we have a basic infrastructure, we have a core infrastructure. Under the basic infrastructure, like what we will do, site development, industrial plot development, boundary wall development. Boundary wall, we can just create a boundary wall around. Then roads, drainage system, water supply, electricity, power backups, effluent treatment plant, ETV plants are there, parking bays are there, weighing bridge are there, then common office. So this is called as, obviously this is called as a basic enabling infrastructure. Then we will be having a core infrastructure where food testing laboratories will be there, then cleaning, grading, sorting, packaging, streaming, generation. So this is what a highly specialized work. Okay, this is a specialized work. Okay, like dry warehouse, cold storage, pre-cooling chambers, ripening chambers, IQF, specialized packing, and common processing centers are there. So this is what the two are the main project components under the agro processing clusters. Okay, now what is the pattern of assistance that you are going to get under the agro processing clusters? So under the pattern of assistance, what you are going to get is, first of all, a scheme envisages at 35% eligible project cost for general area, 50% for eligible project in northeastern state including Sikkim and some difficult area of the Himalayan state like Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Uttarakhand, and some notified ITDP areas are there. Then SC/ST entrepreneurs are there, and maximum amount that has to be given is rupees 10 crore per project. Okay, so these grant in aid is credit linked but not back-ended. Okay, so how the release of grant will be happening for agro processing clusters? So first installment of 35% of the total approved grant will be released by the PEA. You know what is the meaning of PEA? It is Project Execution Agency. After incurring an expenditure of 35% of the bank term loan and 35% of the promoter contribution, then the second installment of 40%, okay, release and the expenditure of 75% of the bank term loan and 75% of the promoter loan. Then the third installment of 15% of the approved grant and 90% completion submit request document, and fourth is the final 10% of the approved grant loan. Okay, so this is how in four installment this whole process will be given. Okay, now the second now the other umbrella scheme under the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana is scheme for creation of backward and forward linkages. Okay, so the main focus area, like how we can link the backward area and forward integration, like from where the product is coming in, where the product is going on. So here we are looking for like plugging the gaps in supply chain. Okay, so that proper raw material can be available and how we can link it with the market. Okay, so proper financial assistance has to be provided by providing better setting up of primary processing centers, primary processing center, then collection centers from various farm gate to the modern retail outlets, and then a proper connectivity has to be provided with proper refrigeration, transport and everything. Okay, so this whole scheme has been applicable to perishable horticulture and non-horticulture like fruits, vegetable, dairy product, meat, poultry, fish, ready to cook food, honey, coconut, spice, mushroom, retail shops for perishable foods and various other products similar to like this. Okay, so the focus is like over here, the scheme, the focus is here like how we can link the farmer to the processors and to the market. Okay, so like backward and forward linkages and how we can provide them with better remunerative prices. Okay, so this scheme is implemented by various agencies, organizations such as government, PSU, joint ventures, NGO, cooperative, self-help group, FPO, private sector, individuals and everybody. Okay, so there has been a technical agency which will be for assisting the farmer, producer group and farmer produce companies and everybody, self-help groups and everybody to participate under this whole scheme. Okay, so let me tell you what is the meaning of backward linkages and forward linkages. Okay, so they are in the project components. We have lot of backward linkages. Backward linkages like we will have a pack house will be there where proper sorting, grading, packaging, waxing, staging, cold room, cold storages, milk chilling centers, bulk milk coolers will be there, pre-cooling, reefer boats are there, machinery, equipments. Okay, machinery and equipments will be there. That is the back-end processing that has to be done. That is called backward linkages. Then forward linkages are like where retail chains or outlets are there, where facilities like frozen storages, deep freezer, refrigerated display cabinet, cold room, chillers. Then there will be distribution center like retail house chains are there, cold rooms and ripening centers are there. Then transport facility, refrigerated transport, insulated transport, reefer vans are there. Okay, so this is how backward and forward linkages will be set up for PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Now what is for the food safety and quality infrastructure? So now under the food safety and quality assurance infrastructure, so as the word suggests, like how we are going to implement the food safety standards and how we are going to make sure that quality assurance are being properly followed. So because quality and food safety can make you boost your competitive edge in all the market wherever you go, whether your domestic market, whether international market, wherever you go. So there is a need for consumer safety and public health that has to be a paramount importance everywhere. Okay, whatever you are doing, there is a need to ensure that quality of food product which is manufactured and which is sold in the market has following each and every safety parameters, very stringent safety parameters they are following, especially safety regulator. Okay, so the focus the focus of the government is to make sure that to provide financial assistance under the following heads under the scheme, like setting up of upgradation of quality control and food testing laboratory. Especially focus has to be there in the upgradation part and quality control and food testing laboratory, because these are only the things which are going to provide you with assurance and quality. Assurance and quality. Okay, so first of all, the focus has to be check on the wholesome, hygienic, safe food and processed food. Like this is wholesome, hygienic, safe food and processed food. Okay, so which are compliant with all the safety standard and basic regulatory requirement. Okay, so there has to be a test domestic production wherever it is going. So like whether the food or processed food is following all the domestic standards properly or not, whether all the all the international standards for exports are also being followed or not properly, what are the standards that country is following, your country is following, what is the international requirement that is there for any kind of safety product, whether that is being followed or not. Then test import, that means that is you are sending, this is export, and then whatever is coming to your country, whether that is also following the requested standard or not, something that you are getting from outside, whether that is following all the standards or not, like contamination, additives, pesticide residue, they have to be monitored properly. Okay, everything has to be monitored properly. Proper networking of testing and analysis laboratories have to be there. Okay, so there has to be this scheme is helpful in setting up and upgradation of the food testing laboratories. Okay, so this is already going on since 2005, where all the proper supporting infrastructure about quality is being monitored, safety parameters are being followed or not. So this is scheme under central government, state government, various government universities, deemed universities, private sector universities are there. They are all eligible to receive the financial assistance if they are working in setting up of the food testing laboratory, if they are working in setting up of the food testing laboratories. Okay, so what is the pattern of the assistance that they are going to get? So government will be providing grant in aid, like entire 100% cost to the eligible cost of the approved equipments. Okay, and 2% of the eligible cost of the approved equipment, or rupees 15 lakh, whichever is lower, toward the technical civil work and furniture and fixture. So they have their own paragraphs is there on a lump sum basis. Okay, and private organization and entities, they will be getting around 100%, 50% in general area, 70% in difficult areas, and for SC/ST applicants. Okay, for the equipments as per the paragraph 3A above, and the 2% of the technical civil work of the furniture and fixture. Okay, so this is regarding like how much you are going to get from the government if you are working and in order to set up your quality control and food testing laboratories. Okay, so ministry, if ministry is still establishes food testing laboratories or sponsors such projects, so there will be no ceiling of financial assistance or grant in dates, so regarding that food testing laboratory. Okay, so all the proposal whichever is being received by the government for financial assistance, they will be put before a technical or technico committee. There will be a Ministry of Food Processing Enterprise for examining such proposal for technical angles. Okay, after everything and presentation has to be made toward the techno committee. Okay, so now organization will have to tell about the information, documents, whatever is being asked by the techno committee. After the proposal recommended by the techno committee, technical angle completing all the respect, then it will be considered for. So there is a proper procedure. Okay, there is a proper procedure which has to be followed if you wanted funding under this head. Now this is a very important project under the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana, that is Operation Green scheme. So this Operation Green scheme has been especially being launched in the budget speech of Union Budget of 2018 and 19. Okay, so it is similar like a scheme which have been launched, Operation Flood, which is related to the milk production. Similarly, on the same line, Operation Green has been launched with an outlay of rupees 500 crore to promote farmer produce organization, agri logistic processing facility and professional management in the development of tomatoes, onion, and potatoes. Okay, value chain sense. So this scheme has the two component. Okay, what exactly we are going to achieve in this scheme is long-term intervention, integrated value chain of these products, and short-term intervention. Okay, so long-term intervention and short-term intervention. But during the budget speech, so not a budget speech, during the time of COVID-19 pandemic that has came on 15th of May, Atmanirbhar Bharat package has been launched. So in order to revive the economy because of the disruption that has been caused by the COVID-19, so there was a short-term measure that has been taken, and there was an expansion of the scheme has been done from top crops to all fruits and vegetables. That is called total. Okay, that is called total. Okay, not only tomato, onion, potato, but it is also for all fruits and vegetable. Then in budget speech of 21 and 22, the scope of long-term intervention like integrated value chain development project scheme is applicable to tomato, onion, potato crops, and that has been enlarged to 22 perishable crop. Okay, 22 crops, perishable crops. So this whole concept of tops has been increased to total now, which has been extended to 22 perishable crops. Okay, now what is the objective? So we have a short term, a long term objective, and then we have a short term objective. In the long term objective, first of all, we have to realize the farmers by targeted intervention. Okay, realization for targeted intervention, especially focusing on strengthening of the production clusters, FPO, linking connection, and everything. Then also reducing the post harvest losses. You know, during the time of perishable crops of fruits and vegetables, there is a lot of post harvest losses also happen. So there is a need to create farm gate infrastructure, then suitable agri logistic, then creation of storage capacities and everything. Then there has to be increase in food processing capacity, like value addition in value chain, proper linkages and proper identification of the production clusters, all has to be done in the proper way. Okay, then there is also a proposal to for expression of interest, like applicant fulfilling the eligibility criteria, they have to require an online application on Sampada portal by the ministry, and based on that they will be getting support from the government. Then what is the short term intervention which is being required? So the objective is to protect the grower of eligible crops from making distress sales. Okay, you know, during the time of a slump, okay, during the time of slump or slow supply, high supply, something like that, there is all of a sudden the prices goes ups and down like that. So farmer sometimes do distress sale, jaldi becho like that. Okay, so in order to reduce this distress sale or to reduce the post harvest losses, the government has come up with this Operation Greens scheme. So under that there is a component of pattern, like subsidy is being provided at 50% on the following two components. One is transportation, and then hiring of appropriate storage facility for the top. So for subsidy is being provided for these two things. Okay, now what is the project cover? So there is a long term, so yeah, we have already done this post harvest processing infrastructure. Here we can see here, yeah. So under the long-term intervention, integrated chain of value develop project like post-harvest processing facility, agri-logistic and market infrastructure, and for standalone post-harvest infrastructure like post-harvest processing infrastructure, then post-harvest processing infrastructure facility and everything. Then quality production. Okay, so these are the three things under the project component under the long-term. Then short-term intervention, subsidies we have already seen, transportation and hiring of appropriate storage facility for the tops crop. Okay, so pattern of assistance, how much you are going to get. So there has to be an integrated value chain project. Maximum grant will be provided up to rupees 15 crore per project. Okay, then we have a standalone post harvest infrastructure, so where maximum grant is being provided of rupees 10 crore per project. Okay, so at like similarly like the previous one, there will be like at 35% for general area project, for 50 at the rate of 50% for various projects in the difficult areas, hilly terrains, for if any project of SC/ST, farmer produce organization, self-help groups and everything. Then quality production, maximum 5% of the total allocation under scheme may be utilized for quality production. So this is regarding the pattern of assistance under the Operations Green. Okay, now the third and the last scheme that we wanted to study today is scheme for formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Okay, so under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, okay, so Ministry of Food Processing Industries is implementing this is centrally sponsored. Okay, sponsored means a part will be provided by the central government and the part will be provided by the state government. Okay, so PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises, especially focusing on providing financially, technical and business support for setting up upgradation of microprocessing center. So this scheme will be running for a period of 5 years from 2021 2020 to 2024 2025, and the outlay has been given of 10,000 crore rupees, where 2 lakh micro food processing enterprises will be supported under this scheme. Okay, so focus is like if those enterprises who are promoting the local product, local food processing sector. Okay, so they will be adopting one district one product, that is ODOP. Okay, to reap the benefit of the scale, like any district who is running ODOP project for any type of, like if they are running some mango, like if any district is being put under the ODOP scheme of mango, so now this scheme for formalization of micro and food processing enterprises will be supporting this is mango farming under the ODOP. So this is called as integration of the scheme. Okay, integration of the scheme, because here ODOP has already been given and at the same time this will also be supporting this whole scheme. Okay, so this under the scheme for formalization, it will be providing proper framework for value chain development, alignment of the support infrastructure, branding, marketing, then food producer organization, self-help group, cooperative, special purpose vehicle, ODOP, and everything will be provided under this. Okay, so the first one is one district one product. Okay, here this concept has been came because we know that every district is being known for one or the other type of product which is being very famous in that. Okay, so the main purpose of this ODOP is to provide proper value chain development and support in infrastructure. Okay, so there may be more than one cluster of ODOP product in one district. Okay, like that. Okay, so and there can be other clusters also can be there. Okay, so the state will be identifying certain food product for a district. Okay, so if this product is that, like if there is green if we have a red chilies are there. Okay, red chilies are there, which is being famous for in certain district, so this can be put under the food processing industry. Okay, so the state will identify like which food product we are doing, which under which focus area, which one is perishable, which one is which one is non-perishable, and everything. Okay, so the ODOP product could be perishable agriculture product, cereal products, food products, variety of products are there, like mango, potato, lychee, tomato, topika, quinoa, bhujia, petha, papad, pickle, everything, like whole lot of things are there. Okay, certain other traditional and innovative products are there, like who are running from waste to wealth products are there, like honey, minor forest produce in the tribal area, turmeric, amla, haldis are there. So this can be part of one district one product, and under the one district one product you can utilize a scheme of formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Okay, so for providing various support to the micro units, capital intensive, preference will be given to those ODOP product. Like if we have a product, if we have a haldi is there, if we have a green chilies are there, if we have some lychees are there. Okay, TCHI, but ODOP has been given only to lychees, so this scheme will be only supporting the lychee production and lychee support will be given over there. So under this support will be provided for those who are already processing. Okay, such a district would only be for those already processing that product. Their adequate technical, financial and entrepreneurship strength, those who are already having, will be provided. So so if there is any kind of a new units that are being developed, whether for individual or group, would only be supported for ODOP product. That means if you are setting up of any new units or by any individual or group, but under the one district one product formalization scheme, only the product which is being given under ODOP product will be only supported. Then support for common infrastructure like marketing, branding would be only for ODOP product. Okay, if you are trying to make any food product or any type of food processing product, then marketing and branding will be only provided for ODOP product. In case support and marketing, branding and everything, the same product of district not having that product for ODOP could also be included. Okay, then Department of Commerce is focusing on agriculture crop as a cluster approach. Okay, so any support for export under the agriculture export policy by Ministry of Agriculture, they will be focusing on cluster approach, because whenever you are focusing and whenever you are working on a cluster approach, you are all saving the money, you are all saving the resources, you are all trying to prevent the wastage regarding that. Okay, so ODOP approach for the scheme would lead to easing in providing common facility and other support services. Okay, now the second scheme under the scheme for formalization of micro food processing enterprises is upgradation of individual micro food processing units. Okay, so first is credit, there will be a credit link subsidies will be provided. So any individual micro food processing unit is there who wanted to upgrade their unit, so they can get the capital subsidy at 35% of the eligible project cost with a maximum ceiling of 10 lakh per unit. Okay, so 35% and maximum 10 lakh per unit they will be getting especially for that. So the beneficiary contribution would be a minimum of 10% and the balance should be a loan from a bank. Then if you are doing any kind of capacity addition, training support or anything, okay, so this will be also provided to the individual unit, being provided support for the capital investment. The training support would also be provided to the other existing units and everything. Then the following are the focus area for capacity building. Like what are the area where capacity building is to be provided? Entrepreneurship development, like essential functioning like marketing, bookkeeping, registration, FSSAI standard, Udyog Aadhaar, GST registration, general hygiene. Okay, so these are the area where proper capacity addition has to be done under the food processing. Okay, then special training will be provided for ODOP products or the product produced by the unit, including operation of necessary machine, hygiene issue, packaging, storage, procurement and new product development, and all these things which are being so these are all being provided under the capacity building. Now support to food processing organizations, self-help groups and producer cooperatives. So for the support of FPO and self-help groups, so there will be a cluster and group like such as FPO and self-help group. Okay, so cooperatives will be there. So all the value chain for proper sorting, grading, assaying, storage, common processing. Okay, we can create a kind of a cluster over there. Okay, so this cluster can be created especially focusing on sorting facility, grading facility, assaying facility, common processing facility, packaging facility. So like a cluster they will be developed. Okay, so how the support? Again, 35% credit link subsidy, training support, a maximum limit of the grant in such case would be very prescribed, and self-help group would be provided with the following support. Okay, self-help group will get seed capital at rupees 40,000 per member of the self-help group. Okay, then support to individual self-help groups members at a single unit for food processing, credit link. Okay, so there's nothing to explain in this, it is just like that. What I am trying to say is that this is what a technicality things that is being required over here, like maximum amount of 10 lakhs rupees you will be getting over here. Then you will be also getting support for capital investment like self-help groups level, credit link subsidy at 35%. Okay, training and hand holding support to the self-help groups, like large number of trained resources person are available with the state rural livelihood missions and every detailed project report will be prepared, especially focusing on like what type of project is there and how we are going to properly process on that. Okay, so this is like how the support will be provided to FBO, SSG and producer cooperatives. Now seed capital to self-help group that we have already seen, like seed capital at rupees 40,000 per self-help group member will be provided if any self-help group member is engaged in any kind of food processing, for especially for working capital and for purchase of small tools. Okay, and priority will be given if any self-help group member is or self-help group is involved in any ODOP product. Okay, like if there is two products are there, product 1 and product 2 is there. Okay, this product 1 is ODOP product and this is non-ODOP product. So a special focus of seed capital will be given to the ODOP product. Okay, seed capital as a grant will be provided. Okay, so the self-help group federation would provide this amount as a loan to the member, and that has to be repaid to the self-help group. Okay, so what is the eligibility criteria for the seed capital? So only self-help group members that are presently engaged in food processing will be eligible. Okay, the self-help group members have to commit to utilize this amount for working capital, purchase of small tools, and give a commitment in this regard to the self-help group and self-help group federation. So they have to give commitment that they will be working here. Okay, so before providing seed capital, self-help group federation will collect the basic details of the each members. Okay, like what details of the product being produced, other activities taken, annual turnover, source of raw material. So these things have to be collected, then only this seed capital has to be given to the self-help group members. Okay, now this is here, seed capital amount is around 252.53. capital has been released to the state rural livelihood mission. Around 79,693 self-help group members are there. Okay, and seed capital amount of rupees 56.06 crore has been released to the SULM urban livelihood mission of 16,159 member. Okay, then there is a branding and marketing is there, like branding like for ODOP, branding and marketing like Delhi bakeries, then Makhna Kings are there, Kashmiri Manthans are there, Fal Amla is there, Madhu Manthura is there. All these things are being there, 12 brands are there. Okay, then there will be state level branding and marketing is there, Karnataka, same Midi and Bhima, Andhra Pradesh is there, Madhugulla Halwa is there, and Modam is there. All these things are being there, especially focusing on branding and marketing and seed capital. Okay, now what is about the common infrastructure development? So under the common infrastructure, okay, so this common infrastructure will be provided for FPO, self-help groups, cooperative, or any kind of government agency or private enterprise. Okay, so any common infrastructure that has been created under the PMFME scheme will be available for other unit also and the public to utilize on hiring basis as their capacity. Okay, so the eligibility of the project under the category would be decided based on the benefit to the farmer and industry at a large and viability gap, all regarding this. Okay, so the maximum limit of the grant in such case would be prescribed. So type of common infrastructure to be funded under the scheme, like there are a lot of common infrastructure like assaying of the agriculture produce, sorting, grading, warehousing, cold storage, so farm gate, these are all called as common infra. This is all called as common infrastructure. Okay, then you can have a common processing facility, processing of ODOP produce. So okay, so this will all be available to the public, to the various type of FPO, SSGs, cooperatives on hiring basis. Right now, FPOs, self-help groups, cooperatives seeking funding for common infrastructure and capital investment under the scheme, they have to follow certain procedure. Okay, so anybody who is looking and who is seeking funding under the common infrastructure, they have to have a certain kind of procedure they have to follow. So they should have a detailed project report they have to create. Okay, under the assistance, like what type of capital investment, what type of format. So there's a format that has been there. So proper all the necessary details have to be put: detailed project cost, proposed manpower, turnover, marketing channel, source of raw material, estimated profit and loss, cash flow, and everything. Everything has to be given into a project detailed project report. Okay, so then this detailed project report has to be sent to the state nodal agencies. Okay, after the approval from the state level action plan, state nodal agency should recommend the proposal to the Ministry of Food Processing and Enterprises. So any proposal which is coming for assistance to a group for a grant above rupees 10 lakh, if anything is coming above 10 lakh, like you need a grant of rupees 10 lakhs and above, so Ministry of Food Processing Industry, it has to be sent to Ministry of Food Processing Industry for the approval. After the approval has been done, it is forwarded to the financial institution for sanctioning of the loan. Okay, so this detailed project report will also contain proposal for various type of training support of the group member, training hour, modules, and everything regarding that. So norms for Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay, so components of training, capacity building, so all these things have to be given over there. Okay, so the assistance of rupees 50,000 per case would be provided for FPO corporate for the preparation of detailed project. So 50,000 rupees will be provided especially to make a detailed project report. Okay, and then disbursement of the grant should take place by in the bank account of the applicant organization after the sanctioning of the loan. So this is how the process has to be followed. Like if you are applying for creation of any type of common infrastructure, then this is the way you have to go and you have to work on in order to make this whole project report, and you will also get 50,000 rupees for creation of that detailed project report. Now regarding the branding and marketing support. So whenever you are doing something and whenever you are making something or anything, you need branding and marketing. Okay, until and unless you don't have branding and marketing, what type of quality, what type of very good product, whatever you are making, it will be of no use because nobody will be knowing. So you need to provide a very good amount of branding and marketing for these products, right? So marketing and branding will be provided to FPOs, self-help groups, cooperatives, special purpose vehicle, and everything. So following the one district one product approach, market and branding will be only be provided for such product at the state and regional level. Okay, so eligible item for support under the scheme will be training related to the marketing will be fully funded. Like if you are training regarding the marketing, then it will be fully funded under the scheme. Then if you are developing a common brand and packaging including standardization to participate in the common packaging, then also you are eligible under this scheme. If you are doing any kind of marketing tie-up with any regional and national or regional retail chain or state level, then also you are eligible under this scheme. If you are doing any kind of quality control or ensuring product quality meet and required, so you are also eligible under this scheme. Okay, so any support for marketing and branding requires developing a common brand, common packaging, and proper product standardization. Okay, so proper common branding packaging would differ from various place to place, case to case, and product to product. Okay, so based on district, regional, state, wherever it is, you can have a different branding, different marketing. Everything can be so it has or state level, it will all be decided by the concerned SNA in each cases. Okay, so any proposal to support any kind of branding, any kind of marketing should prepare a SNA. Okay, then support for the branding and marketing will be limited to 50% of the total expenditure length. Okay, now what is the eligibility criteria? So the proposal should fulfill the following. Okay, first of all, the proposal should be related to ODOP, then only you will be eligible for branding and marketing. Minimum turnover of the product to be eligible should be 5 crore. That means your product turnover should be 5 crore. The final product should be one to be sold to the consumer in the retail pack. Applicant can be FPO, SSG, cooperative, regional, state level, bringing everything together. Product and producer should be scalable to a larger level. That means it should not remain at a local level or very small level. Then management and entrepreneurship capability of promoting entity should be established in the proposal and everything. Then only you are eligible for proper branding and marketing. Okay, so procedure for applying for assistance under branding and marketing. Like what is the procedure for applying under branding and marketing? So you have, again, you should have a detailed project report should be prepared where everything related to the project, product, strategy, quality control, aggregation measure, common packaging, branding, pricing strategy, promotional detail, warehousing, storage, marketing, everything, okay, has to be provided. And support of rupees 5 lakh would be available from SNAs preparing the DPR. Okay, detailed project report. And your project, your proposal should also contain a flow chart of the activities, like from where you are procuring the raw material, then to marketing, the critical control measure, then quality control measure, plan for 5 years in terms of promotional activity. So everything has to be there in your detailed project report. Okay, so proper arrangement, what is the business plans, what is the execution plan, okay, for the lead buyers, okay, and everything has to be linked, everything has to be explained in that detailed project report. Everything has to be described in the capital and the service need and everything, okay, like capacity, scale to strengthen the linkages, and everything has to be told over there. Then only your project will be available for branding and marketing. Okay, then government will be providing support under branding and marketing. Now, capacity building and training. So under the capacity building and training, so what we are expecting from here is, just 1 minute, yeah. Now, the next is capacity building and training. So under this whole scheme of formalization of micro food processing and enterprises, we are focusing on capacity building and training. Okay, so we wanted to provide training to around 9 lakh individual in micro food processing enterprises, various groups like SSG, FPOs, cooperatives, anybody who is involved in any of these activities or other stakeholders which are connected to the Prime Minister formalization of micro enterprises, or any government official or project, anybody who is there. So we want to train around 9 lakh individuals under that. Okay, so under the capacity building component, we could provide training for various type of activities. Like what type of activities? Like like individual micro food processing enterprises with credit link grant under the scheme, individual existing micro food processing enterprise that are not taking loan under the scheme, workers of micro food processing enterprises or groups such as self-help groups and cooperatives, members of self-help group food processing cooperatives that are engaged in food processing, government official and other resource person engaged in the implementation of Prime Minister scheme for PM formalization of micro enterprises, then training or orientation under the scheme. So this is what exactly following category of persons are being provided the training, capacity building training under this whole exercise. So these type of people, these type of groups and organizations are being allowed to take training, capacity building and training exercise under the scheme of formalization of micro food processing and enterprises. Right now, here the framework of training, like what all the framework of training will be there. So there will be entrepreneurship development training, EDP plus training program modified, like what type of requirement is there of the food processing. Based on that only the training will be provided. After that, then product specific training, like if there is any type of product which has a different type of criteria is there which requires certain different type of training, so that type of training will be provided under that. Okay, so 3 levels of training would be conducted under the scheme. First is the master's training. Okay, under master's training, EDP like entrepreneurship development skilling and product specific trainer will be nominated by SNAs, and the training would be conducted at IIFPT and NIFTEM. These are the institute. Okay, then the second is the district level trainers will be there. So each district will be having minimum of 2 trainers, one for EDP, that is regarding the entrepreneurship and development of the skills, and one for the ODOP, product specific. Okay, because that district will be having some product which is being selected for ODOP. Then we will be having a third level that is called beneficiary, where individual entrepreneur and groups of existing and new entrepreneurs who are involved in food processing and micro level. So this is leading to the formalization, upgradation and scaling. So this is how the upgradation, capacity building and training, all things will be provided under this whole process of scheme for formalization of micro food and product and enterprises. So today we have discussed the 3 very important schemes, especially related to the food processing industries. One is PLI SFPI, which stands for your production link incentive scheme for food processing industry. Under that we have discussed about the scheme, and then under that we have discussed all the important components under that scheme. After that we have discussed regarding the PM Kisan Sampada scheme. Under that we have a concept a mega food park, we have a cold chain, we have a food processing preservation capacity, backward forward linkages, HR and institution, agro processing cluster, food safety quality assurance, and operation green. Each and everything we have discussed in detail. After that, we have discussed PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Under that, we have discussed ODOP. We have discussed upgradation of individual micro food processing unit. Then we have also discussed regarding the support of FPOS, self-help groups, rodeo cooperatives, seed capital to self-help groups, common infrastructure, branding and marketing support, and capacity building and training. So all these things we have discussed today, each and everything. So these are the three very important scheme, especially related to the food processing industry. Okay, so please go through all these scheme, make short notes on these scheme, find out, like say whenever the question comes, they may be asking what all are the components and everything. So you just need these schemes only, and you just need these special component to understand regarding that. There is a topic of food processing industry, so we have already covered the food processing industry in detail, and here we are discussing and we have covered all the schemes, or the three important schemes we have covered here under the food processing industries. Okay, so we will be coming out with much more next topics and next schemes. So till then, thank you so much. Bye bye, take care and have a good day.